asset ever. We are number one, the most risky. Of course, we're going to have the worst volume and the worst activity. I was like, people always forget at the height euphoria that we could ever go bear. And then every time we're in a bear, they completely forget. I'm like, guys, this is not like the first time we've had a new thing enter an economy. I was like, there will always be, when there's more money and when people are willing to gamble on more shit, we are the number one place to gamble. Where there's the most upside. Maybe we don't get back to Board Yacht Club being $500,000 every time, but probably, or maybe something like that. I'm like, it's crazy to think that. Now, does that mean all these mid-tier projects are going to come back when there's more money in the market? Probably not, because most of them are just going to become irrelevant, and then new projects will come in, and then we'll have to think about those again. But it's coming back. Like, people who are here thinking maybe I'm wasting my time, you're not wasting your time. If you're in here at this position in the market, the goal is to just become as comfortable, hopefully to have some kind of influence, like to make a name for yourself. It doesn't have to be content. You can do that on Twitter, but it should be to do something. Like, you want to be someone in this space,
Make connections, build relationships, learn about the space, all of that. I think it's very much like life. When you're flying high and on top of the world and have everything going for you, you expect it subconsciously to continue like that forever. And when you're really struggling and at the bottom, you expect it to continue forever, that struggle. And I think just from my personal experience, and everyone's experience is different, but I do feel that when I've been at my lowest point and I truly felt like I can't move forward, or not like suicidal or whatever, so that nothing's ever going to change, it's just hopeless, or like even that when I was homeless in the UK. And I told you, like, I was down to my last 50 pounds. I was at the point, and I needed about 20 pounds to get to the airport, and I needed about 20 pounds to change my ticket, because my ticket was, for another date. I mean, I needed 50 pounds, and I was at the point where it's like, look, if I don't find something today or tomorrow, I need to go home. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck, and literally that, when you're literally at that breaking point, or at that like last point where you never think it's gonna, that's when it happens. I even remember in the dating scene, just before I met Bianca, I was at the point where I was like, I'm just really ready to find someone. But I was really at that point and frustrated that the girls I was with and dating, like, it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. They didn't turn out to be what I thought or whatever. Yeah. And really just thinking, will I ever find anyone? And really wanting it and thinking, never going to find anyone. Just sort of forget it. And that's the same. And the same thing on the converse side. When you think everything's going perfect, like with Danny and Jake, Bianca and I were with my twins, Bianca and I decided we're going to have kids, which is cool. We fell pregnant straight away, which I know a lot of people struggle with. Straight away, we planned it that it would be that, the kids would come in December when I was not busy at work, when I was closed at work. And we fell pregnant in March, so everything was perfect. And bro, the second scan is like, no, everything's fine. You've got twins. And it's like, oh, okay, so things aren't going according to plan. And then the next scan was like, look, there's health complications. And we went through, I don't think you know this, Kate, but we went through absolute hell with Danny.
You told me the story, actually.
Open heart surgery when he was 3 months old. He's still high risk and on a lot of meds and whatever, got serious heart issue that he was born with. And Jake also had heart problems. And like that first year of Danny and Jake's life were an absolute nightmare. I don't know how we got through it. Sleeping at the hospital and trying to look after a new baby while Bianca slept at the hospital. But again, before that, we were flying high. It was like, everything goes to plan. We planned the pregnancy. We fell pregnant. We're going to have them when we were supposed to have them. They came 2 months early. So it was during my busiest time. Like, everything just got, I'm not saying that it was the best thing that happened. I'm not saying it was a negative. I'm just saying, when you think it's all going to go according to plan and it's going according to plan and nothing can touch you, someone, whether it be God or whatever, I think it's God, who says, hold on, you're not in control. You're not in control.
Dude. I agree.
And bearable, I'm never going to get there. God says, I've got you. And picks
he's
you up.
Waiting. He's waiting to see where your breaking point is. And he's like, okay, if they earned it, sign my finger and something cool is going to happen. If they earned it and they kept pushing, I think that's where, maybe you get shit on and it's just terrible luck. But I do believe that if you work hard, the karma knows what you're doing when no one else is watching. And I think that karma, which is the universe or whatever, everything, the whole consciousness of the universe, whatever, knows when you're putting in the work and you're being honest about it. And for me, at least for the future, I'm trying my best not to keep visualizing a very specific future of like, this must be where I'm headed. I hope it looks like this. I'm more looking into a direction. Like, I hope my life has some of these qualities in 5 years. I hope I've earned these things and I've done the right things to get me to this point where I have some of these things. Like, one thing actually is interesting. The other day I decided to do it was to start eating Chipotle every day instead of going to get groceries and like cook and clean. And it takes so much mental energy because every time I want to eat something, I got to get the pan out. I got to get all this food out. I got to dump it on the thing.
We spoke about it last week, so you decided to do it.
Like, fuck it. Yeah, I finally.
Yeah, and you got a lot more time.
I hope so, dude. Today's the first day. Today's the first day I'm gonna get Chipotle, and it'll be like, this is a thing for the next month.
You're gonna get a bit of a double chin like me in the next couple of months.
No. It's my only meal. I'm only eating that, and then I have frozen berries for an acai bowl, a little fruit bowl. That's the only thing I'm eating. It's just the big Chipotle meal, which is about 1,600 calories, then probably like 500 calories of the fruit bowl thing with some granola. I don't know, something like that. I don't eat that much. I'm not that active right now.
You got some home healthy food, but I think what you said is very important. Is don't give up. That's the whole point. I think if you give up when you're in those low points, whether it be the market, whether it be just in life in general, where nothing's working for you, it's very easy to give up. And I think if you give up, you don't get a chance to let it turn. You got to keep grinding no matter what. You got to keep pushing. You got to carry on no matter what. You got to get out of bed. You got to give every day your best. And once you do that, you can go to bed and say, look, the rest is out of my control. The crypto price is out of my control. I've done my best. The rest is in God's hand. But you can't give up and say, oh, God, take over, and then expect, God to go to work for you and make a living for you, right? So very important. But I think whoever thinks that will be down and out in crypto forever, will see that we come around and must just remember that what it feels like now, so that they take profits when they are up.
I am ready for a fucking bull run, dude. Like, I am not making this goddamn mistake again.
That's what we said. That's what I said. The bull run before, I thought they were going to $1 million Bitcoin.
I did okay. I will say I did decent on the last run up. Like, I did get out of some projects that I should have near a top, but I also held some that a little bit too long, and I still didn't make every right decision. But this time, I'm very confident. I'm like, okay, I've run through like multiple cycles now. Like, I kind of know, and I'm really, really wanting to focus and really be intentional about when I'm holding NFT. I'm like, do I really think in 10 years this is gonna be worth holding, or should I just sell this top, maybe a local top, and just buy right back in if I want, or just hold the ETH? Like, I really, really want to focus on putting ETH above NFTs, and then having that's
what you're going to do in a bear market. But the second it turns bull, those NFTs that you sold for 0.1 are going to go to 5 ETH.
Maybe
you're going to be like, yeah, that's what happens. Then that happens, and then your ones that you do have that go to 5 ETH, you think, well, they go into 10, and then your whole mindset slowly changes.
That's true.
And we start it all again. But
I'm going to be very. Every cycle I got better. I got very, very conscious. Of okay, we're approaching a top. Like, it's better to sell right now. And I did it a few times. Like, I pulled it off. And once you do it for traders out there who struggle with this, once you do it a couple times and you actually sell something and it's somewhat near a top, like within 30 or 40% of a top, you go like, oh, damn, like that wasn't actually that bad. It was actually kind of okay. And I made a lot of money.
No, when you sell it at 10 ETH and it goes to 20 ETH the next day, it's not a nice feeling.
Well,
in a month it goes to 5, and then you feel okay. But the day that it's at 20 and you sold at 10 or whatever the equivalent, you sell at 0.1, it goes to 0.2 the next day. It's not a nice feeling.
That's true.
But when you get to look back when it's sitting at 0.01 in a bear market, you're happy that you sold it at 0.1.
Yeah. I just think about that percentage. I always think about that percentage. Like, what are the chances it goes to 0? And what are the chances it goes another 2x from where it's at right now, which is probably already pumped up if I'm thinking about it. So say it's at 2 ETH. I'm like, is it going to go to 3 ETH, or is it likely to just drop down? Would I rather take in this guaranteed profit at 2 ETH right now, or would I rather gamble that's going to go to 4 or 5? And that's where in my head I'm okay taking that lower risk.
Me too. But that's exactly it. It's risk versus reward. Yeah. And depending on the project will determine the downside risk and the upside potential reward. if you've got a Bored Ape, you've got less risk of it going to zero. It still could, and you've got more risk of it going higher. If you've got the latest free mint that you did yesterday that's trending, you've got more chance of it going to zero because you don't know about the founders, you don't know the intentions.
Mhm.
So you got to weigh it up.
Yeah.
All right, so you ready for some other news?
Let's do it.
Outside of projects? So we got Formula One. Do you watch Formula One, Cade?
No.
Are you interested in it?
Yeah. I'm interested in anything I don't know about.